Hi guys, good morning. Hope everybody's well. I thought I would do something a little bit different this morning, and I want to show you how I make a smoothie. Okay, really simple, really basic, right? It's a smoothie, it's not rocket science. The first thing that I use is frozen blueberries, okay? I get these at my local grocery store, frozen. And then I put a little bit in here because I'm going to make these for my babies. I put a little bit inside here, just a little bit, maybe half a cup, okay? And they're frozen, right? So what I do is run them under some warm water in here for a few seconds, and then it gets them soft and smushy. Okay, so I didn't used to eat this way. I, like a lot of people and Americans, didn't really focus on diet. So my husband was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2015. Out of the blue, it's a very detailed story, which I'm not going to go into right now, but we found out by accident, kinda, and he had no symptoms and no prior cancer in his family, and he was diagnosed. So everything changed. Everything in our diet changed, our world changed. We did backslide a little bit, but we're back on it now. So we've been back on it for a while. So anyway, this is a great healthy snack for your kiddos, for you, for somebody in your home. Maybe you want to take some to a coworker or a sick neighbor, right? Because it's always good for people to have veggies or fruit. So blueberries in here, and I add a little bit of almond milk. I'm out of almond milk, so I'm going to use my organic milk. It's just a little bit, maybe quarter cup in there. Tiny bit. This is the baby bullet. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I don't even think I could be because I don't have any like big time huge followers, so that's not a thing for me, at least. I got this when I was pregnant. I love it. It's so tiny. It's lovely. It's perfect because it's small. And then I do a little bit of honey. This is the Burleson's organic honey. I don't like the regular honey because I think it has a weird smell and a weird taste. So that's probably a tablespoon, maybe a big tablespoon of honey, okay? Burleson's to me is the best because it doesn't have that taste. It's the organic, raw, unfiltered. I love it. You can get that at your local grocery store, and it's fabulous. Fabulous. It's my favorite. Okay, so just put the lid on. So it's just about a quarter cup of blueberries, a little splash of almond milk or milk, right? And a little bit of honey, and bam, zhuzh it up. If you want it to be icy, you can add ice. I find that with sometimes even with regular, raw, fresh veggies, ice tends to make everything a little too soupy, watery. Ugh, it's not my thing. So I like it to just be just like that. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want. This was by request this morning from one of my angel babies. She asked for a blueberry smoothie, so that's what she's going to get. And how awesome is it really to have your children be like, hey, can you make me something healthy? I mean, like, okay, that's a gift from God right there. So, they got their smoothies, bam, okay? I'm going to be right back because I'm not done. I have more talking to do. Okay. The penguins, give that to Sissy. Here we go. And it just makes a little bit because my babies... I don't know about your kiddos, but my kiddos tend to want the moon, but then they like, okay, I really just wanted a cracker, not the whole moon. I'm good. So I only do a little bit at a time because I don't want any waste product, right? I don't want to waste it. And whatever's left, I'll drink it or my husband will drink it. Okay. So, simple, right? Easy peasy, like they say. So what I wanted to talk about was actually change in your life. But I'm kind of hearing forgiveness. I'm not kind of hearing it. I'm hearing it. Okay, so there's somebody that's wronged you, that's hurt you deeply. They've hurt your heart. Maybe they broke your heart. Maybe they stepped on it and then threw it in a blender and drank it. And it's painful. And it's different degrees for different people. Some people go through horrific, traumatic events. Some people just get dumped and it breaks their heart. I've had my heart broken. Sometimes it's a mutual heartbreak where you decide with the other person or people that it's not good. And that's hurtful. Hurts too, right? And not just in relationships like we're thinking like romantic relationships, but maybe you trusted somebody. Maybe you trusted your church. I know there's a lot of betrayal in the church because people confuse the church with Jesus. Yes, he built the church. We all know that. But you're putting it in man's hand, right? And we're all sinners. So you're trusting them to be like Jesus, but they can't be like Jesus. So you got to switch that in your mind. They're humans. They sin. They swear. They cheat. They watch porn. They cheat on their taxes. They don't eat right. They don't take care of themselves. They smoke. They drink to excess, right? Because drinking's not a sin or anything. You can drink to excess, right? That's what it is. So they're still people. They still have people needs. They still have flesh. They're trying to ignore the flesh because they're trying to preach to everybody, but they still have flesh, right? Still there. They're still humans. So that's what we got to reverse in our mind. Like people would always say to me like, oh my God, you tithe. Yeah, I tithe. Not right now. I'm not tithing at this point in my life, but yes, I have. And they're like, how do you know where it's going? I said, I don't care where it's going. That's appalling to some people. I don't care where the money is going. I don't care if it goes to cocaine and hookers. I don't care. My duty was to give back because it's all his and I gave some back. That's on them. That's on their soul. That's their problem. That's not my problem. Better with Netter's not going to lose sleep because somebody went out and decided to go get hookers and cocaine with the money that was supposed to go to help people or to keep the lights on in the church. That's not my problem. Now, I would hope that they didn't do that and they were good stewards of their money, right? But I don't lose sleep about that. I don't care about that part. It's like, whatever. That's your problem. You want to do dirty with the money I'm giving you out of the goodness of my heart? That's on you. So I feel like there's been betrayal. And I know it's really easy to say, just forget about it, let it go. Here's a spoiler alert. Well, maybe not spoiler alert, but here's a shocker for you. I don't like that Frozen song. First of all, I'm not real big on the melody. I know. Shocking. You all are gasping for air right now. Not a big fan of the melody. Also, it's not that easy. But I do know this. Forgiveness is not a process, and forgiveness is not an emotion. Forgiveness is a choice. The day that I decided to forgive my father, I had met a lady at the store. I ran into someone at the grocery store. I see people all the time at the grocery store that I know, but I don't say anything. Because like when I'm out, kind of like when you're on stage, like this would kind of be like a stage. Everything's big and great and grand and fun. But when I'm by myself or alone, when I'm with my family and we're doing something or I'm at the store, I don't want to talk to anybody that I know. And when you live in a city for almost 20 years, right, you know people. So I always see people I know, I don't say anything. I see this lady I know, I call out her name, she turns around. So I'm shocking myself, like, why are you saying this lady's name? She turns around, she's like, hey, we start talking, sharing about our families. She goes, I want to invite you to my church for a healing this Wednesday night. I was like, okay. I said, well, I have allergies, so maybe I'll go. So I tell my husband and I tell my mom, I said, because we were taking care of my mom and everything. So I said, ran into so-and-so, I'm going to go to her church and I'm going to go to this healing service. I guess they pray on you, lay hands, whatever. I don't know. I have allergies, so I'm just really tired of living with allergies. And with private insurance, it's very difficult to get the allergy testing and shots and all that. Very expensive. Which if I prioritize that right, I would do it, right? It's all about priority. So I go to this healing service, and it's real sweet, and people are lined up to get their stuff, and it's this little Australian couple, and they're just darling, and of course they're blonde, right? Because I don't think I've ever seen Australian people with dark hair and dark eyes. They're blonde, blue-eyed. They're beautiful. Not that dark is not pretty, but they're very light looking, light hair, light eyes. Darling couple. It's my turn. They're up on a platform on a stage. I'm down here. So I'm looking up, and the wife looks down at me, and she says, "Who do you have to forgive?" And I'm like, huh? She's like, "Who do you have to forgive?" Now, she didn't ask me, "What's wrong with you, honey? Are you sick? What, do you have cancer? Who do you have to forgive?" She said, "Say his name." So I said his name. And she looked at me and she said, "Forgiveness is not an emotion. Forgiveness is a choice." And I chose to forgive him. Not because he deserved it, because I deserved it. Because I was sick of wallowing and being in hell. I was carrying this huge burden. He wasn't losing sleep over what he did. In fact, I think he was joyful. So I said his name. And then the pastor, they're both pastors, but the male pastor laid hands on me, kind of on my head, because he's bent down, and he's like, "Okay." And then I just laid on the floor, like who just lays on the floor? I just laid on the floor for like 15 minutes. Didn't cry, nothing, just laid there. And I let it go. It is possible to let it go. You have to want it. You gotta want to let it go. The burden is so heavy. I can feel it. I can feel it on my shoulders this morning. Not my burden. I can feel your burden. I can feel it. It's right here. On my shoulder. I can feel pressure right here. Maybe they're sorry for what they did to you. Maybe they're jumping around and having a freaking party what they did to you. But they're not concerned about what's going on in your life. The pain. It's manifesting physically, and you wonder why you're getting ill. You wonder why you're sick. It's because you're holding on to it. Okay, so I was going to talk about something completely different. I was supposed to talk about that again, because I think forgiveness holds a lot of us in bondage. So it's a very, very big deal. Way bigger than I thought. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed your morning smoothie with your morning talk. And I love you guys, and I hope you have an awesome day today. It's freezing here. We were 80 yesterday, now it's freezing. Okay, I love you guys. Talk to you later. Mwah.